We got some big gaming news. PlayStation is preparing something cool for us in the near future and the end of the year. According to new leaks, GTA 6 will likely not have a physical edition at launch. The Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, like if you were still in doubt that it was going to happen, then this news will very likely change your mind. And we got way more to go over. So good that you're joining the Sunday News Roundup, and let's go. A state of play will be happening on February 12th, according to very credible insiders who've reported on state of play dates before. First, Nate the Hate said there would be one, and after that Jeff Grubb in his podcast confirmed that it's indeed on the first day, February 12th. Which would be the same day as last year's February State of Play. So what can we expect? Well, I hope we see the Ghost of Yotei Legends mode, maybe a shadow drop or a release date announcement for like the week after. I think that would be cool. This is of course the multiplayer mode. The Ghost of Tsushima Legends mode launched 3 months after release, so I think the timing works out. We know there's a Starfield PS5 version out this year with a 2.0 update that was shown to press several months ago, so announcing that at the State of Play I think also makes sense. Of course, Sony will take this opportunity to show their own games like Saros, Marathon, maybe even the rumored 2.5D God of War game or Horizon Online. I actually did a react video going in depth on more things that could possibly show up. I will leave a link to it in the video description. Let me know you up to see. I will of course be live reacting when it happens and bring you all the news here on the channel. We last week learned that the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake would not be launching before April 2026. It was part of the 7 games that Ubisoft delayed last week, but the game still of course has not been officially announced. So even if with all the leaks and hints that I discussed here on the channel you were still not convinced that the remake was coming, then this will probably change that. Severus posted an image of a potential Assassin's Creed Black Flag statue, possibly from the collector's edition of the remake or just a separate statue Ubisoft plans to sell. It looks pretty cool, but the thing is that Ubisoft actually responded to this with the official Assassin's Creed Twitter account posting the GTA meme, shit, here we go again, referencing the fact that many Assassin's Creed titles have leaked through merchandise. So in May 2017, Bayek leaked through an Assassin's Creed Origins t-shirt a few weeks before the E3 reveal, and maybe you remember the Odyssey keychain that also leaked just before E3 as well. So Ubisoft basically confirmed that this now happened again and that the Black Flag remake is coming. My prediction is that we still have to wait some time before they officially announce it, but I might be wrong. We could see it sooner. So of course, I will keep you up to date here. Let's go over way more gaming news. Leave a like, that would really help me out, and subscribe, because we post one of these big gaming news roundup videos every Sunday. But first, the sponsor of this video, the free open world game Infinity Nikki. It just got a brand new update with the Wancheng realm, filled with Chinese myth-inspired monsters and bustling street life, although something feels off. In the new city, Taiye, you can get your own hotspot house and have to make meals for your customers. Meanwhile, your cat Momo will collect the right ingredients in the Flavor Frenzy minigame. You can also play Fortune Mayang and feel the atmosphere in the new Bloom Festival. While exploring the new regions, you get access to a brand new outfit, the Nefarious Shadows, that has the ability to reveal magical creatures that have transformed themselves into ordinary objects. There are also 2 brand new 5-star outfits. The Wancheng Weaves Alive has multiple transformations and lets you collect resources from a distance. While my favorite, Chroma's Mortal Heart, lets you transform into the magical Chroma Deer to more easily traverse the map, and spotting treasure chest becomes easier as well. Check out Infinity Nikki via the link in the video description for more information that would really support the channel. And now let's get back into the video. Now time for quick shots, news stories I will go over quickly. GTA 6 will reportedly not have a physical edition at launch. This according to a Polish website that previously leaked the PS5 version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and also other things that later turned out to be correct. So the reason for this is to avoid leaks, which honestly makes a lot of sense. If they ship discs, the game would be circulating around 2 weeks before release in order to get the copies in stores on time, and that would almost guarantee leaks. Like Assassin's Creed Shadows copies were also sold weeks before launch after they were reportedly stolen from an Amazon warehouse. So imagine what would happen with GTA 6. I personally thought they would do a digital code in a box, so they could still have something on store shelves, but the rumor now is that they will skip this physical version altogether and then ship a disc version a few weeks after launch, or maybe even in early 2027. I've seen some people say that they would then rather wait. Now let me know your stance in the comments, but this of course also a death sentence for all the physical game stores that are still around. The God of War TV show is shaping up nicely. We got some rumors from a previous Sunday video now confirmed, and know about other casting details as well. Max Parker from Netflix's Boots will play Heimdall. Mandy Patinkin from The Princess Bride and Homeland will play Odin. Alistair Duncan, who voices Mimir in the games, will reprise his role in the show. And you also got Danny Woodburn and Jeff Gulka here, who will play Brock and Sindri respectively. And this of course alongside Ryan Hurst as Kratos, Oliver as Thor, and Theresa Palmer as Sif. I still think it's interesting that they are casting all these Ragnarok characters when you would expect the first season to be based on the 2018 game, but we will see. I will keep you posted here. So far, again, the casting looks great. The Xbox financials are not looking great though. Microsoft just reported a 9% decrease in gaming revenue for their second quarter versus last year. And Xbox game content and services were down 5% year over year, and Xbox hardware was down a massive 32% year over year. And that's especially wild because hardware sales, as you know if you've been following these Sunday videos, have been declining year after year for quite some time now. So there's not much left. At the same time though, Microsoft has been raising their Xbox Series prices, removing reasons to buy the platform by bringing all their games to PlayStation and increasing the Game Pass Ultimate price to $30 a month. So it's not really weird that the hardware sales are down once again. The 9% overall though is not great, but it's likely largely due to Call of Duty sales hitting a 70-year low with Black Ops 7, which performed significantly worse than Black Ops 6 the year before, so in 2024. If they can release a popular Call of Duty again this year, then 2026 will likely be a strong year for them, given the impressive slate of upcoming games they have. Still, it's a massive fumble not to have a strong console position going into the launch of GTA 6. That game will push many people who don't have a current-gen console yet to jump in, and most likely they will all default to a PlayStation 5, effectively giving Sony the biggest game ever as a console exclusive. The Crimson Desert Road to Launch has also kicked off this week with a brand new features video highlighting the world and some story elements. The game looks absolutely massive, so I did a full reaction on the React channel for if you are curious and want to see the video with me. Link to that in the video description. So I wanted to give you a heads up right here. I got way more Crimson Desert content here on the channel with more news, so keep it locked for that. I got a ton of cool stuff to share. I also want to quickly touch on High Guard, the One More Thing announcement from the Game Awards that launched this week. So we basically learned that it's a new game mode for shooters called Raid. You first improve your character, then you fight for a special sword that spawns somewhere on the map. And this sword is required to infiltrate the enemy team's base. The team that destroys the opposing base wins. The game is now out on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox for free. It had a very high concurrent player count on Steam at launch, 100,000, but it has now settled around the 10k depending on the time of day. So yeah, it's definitely not the kind of success that justifies an end of the show Game Award slot, but that said, if it can maintain and slowly grow its player base, it might be enough to sustain the team. It launched with only a 3v3 mode, but they already added a 5v5 mode a few days later, and they have a decent first year post-launch plan. Now this will likely be the final time I cover the game here though. Hopefully we will get more interesting end of the show reveals for the Game Awards this year, but I of course wish them all the best. Time for the rumor roundup, where I look at the biggest leaks and rumors of the week and rate them with stars. 3 being I believe it, and 1 being let's take this with a huge grain of salt. Of course covered some rumors here and there in the video already, but wanted to save this one for this segment, because it seems like we will get an upgraded PlayStation Portal later this year featuring an OLED screen, similar to what Nintendo did with the Switch, launch with an LCD model and then later release a much nicer OLED version. It will likely not have any other major upgrades, maybe a bigger screen, but that would be it. They're probably saving like their biggest things for the actual PlayStation handheld that can run PS5 games natively and should be coming a bit later. Still, an OLED screen for the Portal would be a nice upgrade, especially now that you can stream games directly to the device without having a PlayStation 5 and using remote play. Maybe if they can get GTA 6 on this thing, that would be pretty big. I'm giving 2 stars. Kepler L2 has been right before, and Sony usually launches some form of new hardware towards the end of the year. And if the rumor turns out to be true, then their other claim that the PlayStation 6 release is locked for 2027 also becomes, of course, more interesting. Even though, and maybe you saw that news this week, an analyst suggests that the PlayStation 6 could be delayed, maybe even to 2030. Now, you probably know my stance on this if you watch these Sunday videos. Like, I still think 2027 is realistic. It seemed that the specs for the PS6 are already kind of set in stone, so pushing it by a year or even further means that the device will really not be as strong if it comes out later. Also, of course, the launch games and everything else has to then be pushed, so it's way more than simply saying, yo, it's coming out later. Of course, I will keep you posted here. I do agree, like, having the console next year doesn't really make sense. Feels way too soon, but I'm just looking at it from a business perspective. I think for Sony it makes the most sense. But yeah, let me know if you are interested in a PlayStation Portal OLED version in the comments down below. This coming week should be interesting. We've got some notable releases, including Nioh 3 on February 6th with the demo available now if you want to try it out. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is coming out, and the PlayStation Plus monthly games go live on Wednesday. Nothing huge, as you can see. 2026 has been a pretty poor year for PS Plus games so far. And there will be more coming this week, so stay tuned. Like, subscribe to not miss anything. Hope to see you during my weekly news stream. You can set a reminder by clicking on the screen. Check out Infinity Nikki via the link in the pinned comment. Spawns like that make this Sunday video every week possible. So thanks for the support, and I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.